Hey, welcome to Podcast from the Pit. I'm Casey,
I'm Eric.
and with us tonight are two guys I met at Joe Fest last year and really made an impression on me. I've been all in on their toy line since before it came out, and they did not disappoint. If you guys want to introduce yourselves, I'm sure they already know you, but
Well, that's a great introduction.
Thank you.
I like sitting through it. I was watching it, and I'm like, oh yeah, we got a show to go on. Gotta just get camera ready while that thing's going on. But yeah, my name's Ken. I'm over at the Toy Connections for the last 3 years, which is a channel that my own channel where I talk toys myself. But a little before Toy Connections started, Steve and I partnered up on Delta 17, and it's just been a wild ride, a bit of a blast. And it was really humbling last year when nobody really knew us going into, or no one really knew the Delta 17 brand going into the show, but they certainly knew coming out of it. And there were a lot of photos kind of like, hey, there's this kind of surprise brand, with really nice art and really nice splashy colors, and they don't have a Kickstarter. And it was just kind of cool, just getting the reaction and like the groundswell of support. As Steve and I always say, we kind of backloaded the advertising rather than front loading it.
Yep.
I don't know. Like ideally, you want to catch that optimal wave right when there's going to be some sales, but that's a business thing we haven't quite figured out yet. So, yeah, Steve.
Yeah, for sure. Delta 17, buy them today. In the end. No, I'm kidding. We debuted the stuff at Joe Fest 2023. We had the test shots there, and now we've gone through production. The figures are available. There's 12 different ones. We'll be at Joe Fest again this year with a comic book, hopefully in your hand, that you can actually purchase. I think people will really enjoy the plot. They'll enjoy the characters, the world that they live in, and I hope that we're here to stay. We're really enjoying this. We do our best to make as high quality product as we can, and I hope that people can see that.
oh yeah,
Awesome.
I got to look at the test shots or prototypes that you had at Joe Fest, and I was just instantly picking out my favorites. I'm gonna get this one. I'm gonna get them all. I have them all.
Oh, nice.
Them all.
Nice. Well,
and I'm working on all of them.
Actually, no rush.
One that I thought was going to be cool is my favorite now.
Oh, which one's that?
Shepherd.
Oh yeah, nice.
Love Shepherd. Yes.
Yeah.
And between him and the Thunder Battalion, those are my two favorites. And I'm hoping to pick up some army builders at Joe Fest this year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Yeah. I think Shepherd was the one you got last. I think you had the whole wave, and then Shepherd was an afterwards.
Yeah. Hey Matt, how you doing?
And Ronnie Trickshot. Hey, thanks for being on
Ronnie.
Yeah, Ron. Nice. Yeah, we're also going to have. Go ahead and do the intro. Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, Patrick. Thanks for sharing our stuff earlier.
He's been sharing it everywhere.
Yeah. Nice.
Appreciate it.
Agent Chuckles. He's got a great show. If anybody needs to check that out, it's Plastic Protocols. Yeah. It's really good.
I don't know if you can hear the thunder and the rain here, but
kind of can.
Neil, how you doing, man?
Neil Hill, good to see you.
Yeah, give us a moment.
Wave two already.
Yeah, yeah. Any moment now, right? Yeah, thanks.
Shepherd is great. The amount of detail you guys get is just fantastic. Just blew me away.
That's why I'm loving. I love the traditional method. I'm all about that. I really enjoy the hand sculpting and everything. It's my heart goes out to. I like it. It makes my heart glow. But I also just as much love modern technology and the ways that we can push the boundaries, push that line. So it's a lot of fun. So we're kind of 1 foot in each world right now.
Yeah, I do know just from. After I've gotten all the Delta 17 and looking forward to Call Sign Longbow and Operation Recall, really dialed down. I'm not picking up hardly any 6-inch anymore. Classified.
Yeah.
Just because you guys have brought back my love for, opening the packages of Delta 17. I've said it dozens of times, but it reminds me of being 10 years old.
Yes.
My Joes.
Yeah.
And that's one of the big reasons I collect toys is to get that feeling when I was a kid.
Right.
And that it gives me that every time I open one, and I'm just hooked on them. I don't.
Yeah.
Hey,
Sorry. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
It's just with the classifieds, they look great, but I
Mhm.
don't get that same joy, and I want the joy.
Yeah, I end up buying almost all the classifieds. I really like them, but I hear you. I kind of open them and I go, "Yeah, this is cool. I like it," But I don't jump for joy or anything like that, right? So
Classified has given us because when we had the 118th, like the 25th anniversary and the Rise of Cobra stuff, all that did reasonably well, but
Yeah.
there wasn't the social media presence that there is today to get either the support or outright dislike for G.I. Joe Classified, depending on which side of the fence that you're on. But like Classified feels like it's there to stay, and it feels like it's stuck. It's stuck the landing on a lot of figures, right? So it's kind of like Classified is kind of like that equivalent of like Motu's Motu Origins or Masterverse line, right? Or Transformers with their War for Cybertron, Legacy, Studio 86, their modern line, right? So Classified was kind of the first one to really get that groundswell of online support, right? Just because I think it was 2007, so it was when the 25th anniversary 4-inch stuff came out, so you didn't quite get that same level, right?
Yeah.
And then with 2018, with the JoeCon dying off, that kind of gave us that, your last window into the 4-inch world sort of just went a little bit downhill. Having said that, that's why we're here with 3 3/4 stuff. That's why Fresh Monkey, Marauders doing a lot with the 4-inch line. Hopefully Joe's can come back with a little more 4-inch, but our love is really O-ring.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
So-
I mean, looking forward to Super 7 now. I mean, I want to see what
Oh,
they
yeah.
do with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Casey had told me about what it was like opening one of your figures up.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. And I'm a little odd because I don't like pre-ordering stuff. I like seeing it on the shelf.
Mhm.
So, and I'm a little cramped for the cash. So I was just like, what two am I going to order? And I'm looking at it, and I see Jaguar.
Yeah.
And I thought, good night, that is so cool.
Cool.
So
Nice.
I got him, and then I got Rooster.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I was like, oh, these are so cool. And they get to my house, and the way you all package them is immaculate.
Oh,
It's
okay, good.
perfect. Your shipping, I mean, I wanted to take a picture of how you all packaged it, just to show how nice it is. That nothing's going to get damaged.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all good.
But you all did. I mean, and I grabbed the bubble. I was like, man, don't want to tear this card up. And I popped it off there. And I was like, I was 8 again, 9 again. I was like, this is gold.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love them. I mean, Jaguar. There are so many things I want to learn about that character. Same way with Rooster, but Jaguar, he's like the peak for me. You all crushed that. And
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
I like that people have different favorites, right? Like you and one of my other friends really loves Jaguar. Steve Peter, who helps me at some of the toy shows here locally, he absolutely loves Shadow Dragon, right?
Nice.
Some people tell me they love Rooster.
Yeah.
Thunder Battalion's our bestseller. So what does that tell us? Everyone's got a different favorite, right? Casey's favorite is Shepherd. I think Gaz's favorite is Shepherd. My favorite is Shepherd, right? There's a lot of people who absolutely love Death Sparrow, right? Kestrel's slowly rising because some people are saying, yeah, but if Flint and Lady J had a child, I'm like, well, there's already Marissa Fairborn, but if you're theorizing, does Marissa Fairborn have a sister? Yeah, you could do that.
Sure.
Right? So, yes.
Squirrel, like Squirrel Girl.
Oh, I was going to mention that. I have an idea for a character for you.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
All right. Casey's like, oh no. I swear, Casey, I won't embarrass you this time. So, not very many G.I. Joe characters are from West Virginia. 2 of them.
Okay.
Here's a throw out for West Virginia. A character from West Virginia for Delta 17. He could have bibbed overalls on, boonie cap, and a squirrel companion named Squack.
Nice.
And you can call him Hillbilly.
Yeah. There we go. Nice. That'll be perfect.
Hey, Larry. But, the 2 I've got, whenever I get to see you all at Joe Fest, I'm basically going to be handing you my wallet.
Well, don't do that. Your wife won't be happy.
My wife isn't going to be there, so it's
there
easier
you
to ask for forgiveness than approval.
That's right.
Where's the
Well,
wisdom?
we got an exclusive, so you know.
Yes, I seen that, and
Very excited for that.
Neil, I know. Just wait. It's coming. Like we said, when, not if.
Yeah.
Hey.
but you all are just absolutely crushing it. I mean, I'm joking about the West Virginia character. I would definitely buy it.
Yeah, it would be fun. It'd be fun to make. It'd be so fun to make just anything in 118. I love 118 so much. Like as a kid, even Toll Booth. I mean, he's very basic, but you just fall in love with him because he represents something different.
Yep.
I still love him to this day, and he's just the one of the most basic figures they've ever made. But he's a classic. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a good spot this year at Joe Fest. Like last year, we were kind of in the back row, like at the very, very back. This time we won't be there. You'll probably be able to see us as soon as you walk in the door and look a little bit to the left, unless the table layout has changed. So a lot of people have said, like, Neil has said it. Joe Ricondo has said it. Crash has said it. They're all like, we're just going to hang out at your booth the whole weekend. I'm like, well, all right. I guess we don't have to worry about theft. You know?
Yeah.
So,
no. Last year we were basically handing out hand towels in the bathroom, so this time we'll be a bit closer to the door.
Yeah, we were a bit of a sleeper hit last year as opposed to this year where we get to at least be, a little bit more featured, right? I mean, obviously we got a ways to go before we get to the level of Four Horsemen and the other independent large companies out there, like Super 7 is going to be there this year, even just to get to like where Marauder is, right? And they're very niche in their own right. But, they've been at it for a few years. At some point we won't be the new company anymore. And just gear up. Every year is just going to keep getting better for us.
I kind of look at you all as the new Hasbro. Quality. Quality. I mean, I'm not. I know a lot of people have been bashing Hasbro and whatnot. I'm not doing that. Yeah. You all are the Hasbro from the 80s.
There we go, Oz.
Wow. Okay, thank you.
Because whenever I pick those figures up, how can I say this? It was like handling brand new vintage O-ring Joes. Like whenever I was a kid. Wow. And they're solid. I love it. The plastic quality is great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can do so much stuff with it. And the more you all put out, I think y'all are going to be like the sleeper line, if there is such a thing.
Oh man, well I appreciate that. That's very kind.
After Joe Fest, I don't think anybody's sleeping on them. I mean,
right.
All the shows after Joe Fest, everybody's talking Delta 17. Oh, wow. You guys came in quietly and just blew people away.
A few people. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to jump in.
I'm sorry. I love the fact it was not a Kickstarter. That was great. So I felt like we're going to get this before all the other things that I paid for 3 years ago. And we did.
Yeah.
And couldn't be happier.
Yeah. At PowerCon last year, I heard that a few people were asking where we were. Like, hey, we'd love to see them here. right? I can't remember whether it was Neil or Oz in the chat that was saying, might have even been Scuba Pete, mentioned that people were like, "Oh, Delta 17 should come here," you know. And I remember we were talking to Ben from Skeletron, and he scoped out PowerCon, and he's going to want to do it in 2025. So yeah, looks like it's just up and about, because I like the way we've staggered the releases too, because effectively what's going to happen is, I know we got stuff released a little later than we wanted to, like with April having been the drop date of the first 12 figures, but June, obviously, well, we are in June now, is going to be the Joe Fest exclusive, which will also be available on the website after, probably sometime in July. For don't quote me on this, because it's going to, we're going to have to work through a few logistics here about how to get it to the fulfillment center. So we'll have the Joe Fest exclusive, and then in the fall sometime, I don't know whether that's October or November, there's going to be the Wave 1.5 figure, which is going to be, a slightly bigger item, right? And then we kind of ramp into 2025, and we hope that what fills the gap in that period while we get to Wave 2, while we get to the Hind, is going to be things like Operation Recall, is going to be things like Call Sign Longbow, is going to be things like the Robo Skull. I think that's going to drop in the summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think their 6-inch figures are going to drop either late this year or sometime in that gap between when we have Wave 1.5 out. So you'll always be busy with things either from one of the indie companies, whether it's 3 3/4 or whether it's 4-inch or 6-inch or whatever. You'll be busy with something military sci-fi.
Yeah. And I've said before, and I'll always say, I believe you take Delta 17, Operation Recall, and Call Sign Longbow, and it's just, in your own headcanon, make your own world. I think they'll fit in great together.
Yeah.
And I think they're all going to be quality, but you guys are setting the standard. So
yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. That's quite the compliment. I appreciate that.
Actually, you all have set it so high. It's going to be hard for a lot of the others to meet you.
Yikes. Okay, thank you. It's very kind.
Not trying to give you a big head or anything, but
don't worry. I throw away my ego daily. It does me no good. So
yeah.
Yeah. Leadfoot's coming in Wave 2, Neil. Don't worry about that. Right.
I've seen a shot of her on your stream the other day.
Yeah, we've got page 1 here. That's the splash page. So
yeah,
when you open the comic, you're immediately met with some glorious violence, which I always love.
And it's like you see the first page of the comic, and it's like, hey, new character right away, and it's like, exactly. Leave you wanting more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And she's not a background character either. Like, she plays a role. So yeah. Ooh. How much does he show up in the comic? I mean, he's the leader.
He's there the whole time, yeah.
He's got to show up, right? He's got an important backstory and everything. So yeah.
No, I'm happily married to my wife. So
yeah,
not happening.
But I'm just so impressed. Like whenever I first met Casey, talking to you all is like talking to rock stars for me.
No, we're just regular. I'm just some dumb kid from the prairies. Moved out to the coast for a while. Pretended to be in the military. Pretended to be in the Coast Guard for a while. Still a dumb prairie boy. Now I'm back on the prairies, and we're doing our best. So I don't know anything. I didn't know anything about toys. We just went for it, and we've met some very, very talented people. So that is like it's a team effort, right? These people that come in and out, some stay. Incredible people.
We can be the rock stars at your local nightclub, not the ones on stage.
Yeah.
So because we don't need to be disconnected from the fans of the brand. Like, at the end of the day, we're in the trenches. We're just part of the boys, right? When we're sitting there in the lobby at Joe Fest and we're having a beer and I'm giving cheers to Harper, cheers to Casey, we're all just there as friends, right? Because at the end of the day,
normal people.
Exactly. Our exposure to the brand is the same as yours. We grew up watching it. We grew up grabbing a bowl of cereal and catching, reruns of the same stuff over and over again. So it's like, we just look at us as your peers who are now kind of providing you a service at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right? Like I always say, if we stop being one of the boys, we've kind of failed,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And my wife might be coming with to Joe Fest. We'll see how things level out here with our 4 kids. And we were just having this discussion. Yeah, no, you don't want to hear me sing. We're having this. Yeah, right. Eh? We're having this discussion one night, and she was just like, what's it going to be like for me? And I said, well, the interesting thing is with these people, they're not like just what you'd classify nerds or geeks or whatever. If you think about it, there's something special about someone who they kind of pause and they hold on to the wonderment that they had when they were kids, when their imagination was unlocked, right? Because so many of us, we just go on with life. We turn off our imagination. Like almost every kid has the same ability to draw when they're like 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 8 and 10. They're all good artists. But then just most of them stop. Most of them stop playing. Most of them stop singing. Most of them stop dancing, et cetera, et cetera. And we just get on with our lives. We turn a lot of ourselves off, right? But then there's this toy crew, this toy crowd that decides like, that wonderment that I had when I was 10, when the whole world seemed possible, when you could make this world in your head and you could see it, in your mind and all this stuff. They want to hold on to that for the rest of their lives. I think that's incredibly special. I think there's something really incredible there with people who decide to align with that mentality. They've decided not to turn off their imagination, their creativity, their wonderment at the world around them. I think that's really, really interesting and really special.
So Jim Largo is asking a great question. Are you going to have any sea adventures?
Oh man, I love the sea. My 5 to 7 years with the Coast Guard got me addicted. It's hard to tell how long I was with them because I got injured in a big nasty gale that took me out for about a year and a half. We almost had a mid-air collision with a giant sea lion at full speed in a Zodiac. That was fun. But anyways, we'll do some stuff. You better believe it. Oh, thanks.
I just think you guys, sky's the limit to whatever you're going to do. I love one of my issues with classified, and don't get me wrong, classified figures, they look amazing. I'm glad they're there for the people who want the 6-inch. I don't want to see anything happen to the line because it makes a lot of people happy.
Oh yeah.
And I still will buy the random one that I think is great. But I mean, you guys, this is almost like a blank slate. I've got 12 amazing figures, and until I read a comic book, I mean, the story's up here.
Yeah.
And it's my own world. But the comic book's going to help get me in the right direction. I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, I think people will enjoy it.
I mean, the story's there for people to read. If they just want to headcanon it themselves and read the story as a separate entity, that's totally fine. A lot of people have said that they're going to work Death Sparrow and Thunder Battalion into their October Guard or October Guard enemies, right? A lot of people just want to throw Rooster in. Like I've seen people do photography where, hit and run is leading Rooster in the battlefield. Sure. Right. Some people are going to kit bash different heads on different things, but sorry, I totally missed Oz's comment because I was cleaning my glasses and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it right now.
Getting a lot of requests for some Arctic paratroopers, heavy gunners.
Yep. Wait for wave 2. We have like the hard part. There's 2 hard things. One is picking what actually goes in, what stays on the sideline, right? Because I have between 35 to 40 guys I really want to do for wave 2. When I say guys, yes, that's army builders, women, etc. And then the second hard thing is that when you have, we have a lot of competition going on, a lot of peers, I'll call them peers, who are also making great figures. We're all sort of working in the same sandbox. Longbow is over there in 85. Skeletron's a little bit in the future. Recall is sort of in the same exact area that we are. So the hard part is that I'm always nervous about is that there's a bunch of us, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 of us, all at the same time dropping 20 grand on tooling for the exact same item. You know, you just don't know what's going to happen, right?
And the way I would come about it is that when you look at the later years of GI Joe, or at least the late 80s, and actually even in the 90s, right, you would get a range of 30, 40, 50, 60 characters. I think 1993 had even more, right? So if there's that much selection out there, great, because we're not even, a lot of us aren't even getting vehicles out there, or at least not, I mean, yeah, there's the Robo Skull, which is cross compatible between scales.
Yeah.
Right, and everyone wants to do a vehicle of some sort. I think Longbow has hinted at a ground vehicle of some sort. I would never ask them to tip their hand unless they're ready to do so. But it's just that there's going to be kind of that. How do I put it? Like with the staggered approach, people can pick and choose what they like. They might get to a situation where, okay, I'm only going to pick up these 4 Delta figures and those 4. What do you call it? Longbow figures and those, 4 recall figures, and that's good. I'm good for the year. Some people might choose to get them all. Some will lean more heavily towards one line or the other, right? So yeah, all that, and we're all friends, right? Like I can, just call up. Like just one day I was out for a walk and I was just talking to Carson for like 45 minutes. You know what I mean? And we realized about the staggered release dates. We can just, like, Ben from Skeletron is the one who pointed us to the fulfillment center that he's using. So we're shipping out of the same facility. Right. So, yeah.
Well, we got the hind. We've got our, like you said, Casey, the sky's the limit, but also, we are limited by money. So,
right.
Yeah, I get you. I know what you're saying. I'm just pulling on you. There's lots of stuff we want to do. It's just a matter of time and money, really. The hind itself will be a very expensive project. We hope to have a second vehicle out for Wave 2, but that depends. We also want 12 new figures for Wave 2.
At least 12.
Yeah. Well, 12 is the bare minimum for brand new sculpted figures, brand new tooling. And then we'll see about what we add in as, we might have this guy repainted as such and such, whatever, and if people want to get him in desert or whatever it will be at the time, we'll have some of that available. So it's a slow process. It's when it comes down to it, it's me, and then Ken is part-time, and then we've got a bunch of people that we hire, that come along and help us from time to time. So we're busy, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks, Oz. Like we are that busy. Like even just a minute ago, Steve B from Cherry Bomb literally texted me and said, "Hey, do you want tables for the September show? They're filling up fast." So I'm like, yeah, I'll get my stuff there, but I'll try to get a few boxes of Delta 17 because we're gonna have some retailers on the island that are gonna want to buy wholesale, and we also want to get that in front of that crowd over there as well, right? Because that area is very vintage heavy in my part of the world. So like that's how busy we are. Like, oh yeah, I gotta book tables. Oh yeah, we gotta finish the comic tonight, right? Oh yeah, we gotta talk on the live stream. In fact, this is our break right now. Like this is fun. This is talking to our friend and seeing Matt and Largo and everyone else in the chat, right?
Yeah, this is us having fun.
Yeah, right.
Well,
so
we feel very lucky to come on.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that, Casey.
Have y'all ever talked about doing a crossover between all three, or however many ever different companies?
It's pretty early for that. I mean, we're so busy, and like I would be. Let's say you had Longbow, Recall, and us. Let's take those 3. I would be the most hesitant just because I have a very specific direction I want to go in, and I don't want to get locked down in anything that I'm not sure if it'll fit in the next 5 years, right? So like 5 years from now, what does that look like? Does that lock us into a continuity rule that we cannot break in different things?
Yes. I also think that we can do it in a wink nod type of manner that doesn't lock you into continuity. So for example, like whatever, like let's just say Call Sign Longbow has a character and we only refer to them by their first name, and one of our characters is on the phone with that character and we refer to them by their first name. People go, is that character from Longbow? Like the wink nod thing, I think we're open to, correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, but like tying something in story wise long term that could limit either continuity, I'm not sure.
Right. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm literally like, what's Reznikov's first name? I think it's Alexei, you know? So like, let's just say Death Sparrow's on the phone and she's talking to somebody and says, all right, Alexei, just something like that. Thanks for the advice again, or something. Just that's totally me spitballing. That's not something we've discussed. That's literally me making it up, you know? Just making it up on the fly. Like that's something that I think could happen, but that's more fan service than anything else. Right. And it's like, is it canon? Like the Dan Larson question, is it canon? I don't know. She could have been talking about anyone. She just referred to his first name. I have no idea.
Yeah,
right?
that would work.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. Right. So
It was just a thought. And I forgot what I was going to ask you next, so I'll step down off my soapbox.
Oh, good.
yeah, Largo asked if any other O-ring Renaissance figure lines fit well with Delta 17. Everyone's pointing to Longbow. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people are wanting to get both lines and think one is the past, one is the closer to modern day.
Yeah.
Right. I think selected recall figures are going to fit. People like Strike Force Alpha. People like Legends of the Hidden Force. People like heavy armor toys.
Yeah.
You know,
Skeletron.
You know, people were saying as soon as we revealed our Okami Elite Sentry, the red Okami, they're like, that's gonna fit with Skeletron. I'm like, I know.
Yeah,
they think so too.
Yeah, and that was the original paint colors that he was supposed to come in back in 2020.
Yes.
So
yes,
I seen the red Okami yesterday, and I was like, "Holy cow! Shut up and take my money."
yeah,
But I at first I wasn't sold on the Okami, and then I seen the red ones with their boss. I can't remember his name.
Oh, Shadow Dragon.
Shadow Dragon. Yeah.
Yes, and whenever I seen that, I was like, "Okay, well, I'm in. I'm all in. My wallet will never recover from this."
Yeah.
Hey, well, he's only $25. You know.
Yeah, I need two of them because I like the way you all had it set up. The accessories is good. Whenever I got my rooster, I messaged Casey. I was like, "Hey, he's got two antennas."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Where's the second antenna go?" I couldn't find where to plug in at. And he's like, he said, "Remember on how the old stuff you would lose like antennas off of like Falcon and whatnot?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like,
"Yep.
That way you have a spare."
Yep.
I was like, that's a great idea.
Just like for the hell of it, he can hold his other hand if you want. I mean,
yeah,
put in the bag.
Someone with it, right? Yeah, no, it's like they say in the military, 1 is none and 2 is 1. So
yeah, and I like it. You all did that. That's pretty killer.
Oh, thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of it's got that Star Wars feel to it a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what people were saying. A few people said that last night it's got that Emperor Royal Guard look.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be getting some troop builders at Joe Fest as long as you guys got them.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
One of the first figures I'll pick up at Joe Fest will definitely be Shepherd. I will definitely get him, and then all bets are off. I mean, might as well just go ahead and bag everything up and just hand it to me. I'll hand him a wallet, debit card, car keys, and
yeah, right, for sure. Yeah, Shepherd's one of my favorite as well. He's I really love how he was sculpted, and he's one of those war daddy kind of guys, or the war maker or whatever. The guy's just kitted up with so many pouches, so many mags. He is there to make war.
Yes. He's there to kick butt and take names and keep some of them and give some of them to other people.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, sometimes he won't even take names. He's just there to kick ass.
Yeah.
the way Delta 17 set up, it's basically nameless, right? It's all off the book. So that's a nod. No, it's because I've said that the Death Sparrow to be played by Gillian Jacobs. Allison Brie was her bestie on Community. That's all. That's why Matt's making that comment.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Whenever I see Death Sparrow and the retrograde, I automatically went to the Russians from the October Guard.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
yes.
Oh, I was like, they fit perfectly in with the October Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So now I'm going to have to find the October Guard to go along with this.
Yep. I know. It's getting more and more expensive as we talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
we got a few here. Like there's Breakov literally right there, if you can see him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Front row, there's Red Star right there. So yeah. We'll learn a lot more about the October Guard once some of you may have already read the whole run. I barely read any of the run. Is the G.I. Joe 1 to 155 compendium set with all the special missions that Skybound is doing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. October Guards show up in like 10 issues or something during that period of time when you include special missions, right? So lots to learn about the original G.I. Joe stuff still.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty excited about that set. I haven't got in on it yet, but I probably will.
Well, we're gonna have around the same period of time that and the that's why I was talking to you about the Palatoy Action Force stuff earlier, Casey, was because they are gonna do Total Toy Books is going to release those 3 volumes as well through Brian Hickey's company. So they're gonna do the old Battle Action Force books, right?
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah.
a lot of money coming out, not enough coming in for me. All right. When I go to Joe Fest, you've seen me shop at Joe Fest. I don't go for the small item, right? I'm like, what can I not find back home? That's what I want here. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. But the good stuff goes fast at Joe Fest.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I've never been to Joe Fest. This will be my first. And
nice.
So if you see a big chunky guy running through there, just
come say hello.
And Casey chasing him.
Yeah,
that's me.
Nice. Yeah, this will be our second so far, so it's quite the experience. It's really amazing. What about you, Casey? You've been there quite a few times, right?
This will be year 4.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and every year is better than the year before.
Yeah,
I don't know why. It just seems to work out like that.
Yeah, Ed does an amazing job. The guy is fantastic. I love that dude.
And there's just going to be so many. I think it's going to be way different this year. There's going to be companies that have not been there before.
Yeah.
So like Super 7, that'll be cool.
Mm.
Hopefully they got some of their O-rings to show off. I heard Gridiron's going to be there, but I don't want to.
No, they bowed out. They were supposed to be, and then they bowed out. So yeah, I was really excited about that.
I love Gridiron.
Yes.
Well, they're just going to save me some money.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. I was like, every Delta figure I sell, I'll like run over and grab another thing, then sell another one, run over. So, any Blue Sky ideas for homage characters? No, I don't do that at this point. I like ROM. I like the Micronauts for sure. I've always been a huge ROM fan. I don't know why. Just something that stuck out to me as a kid. So I've got a lot of those comics.
Hey, Lilith.
Hey, Lilith.
Hello.
PFTP. What's the PFTP? I'm not.
That's us. Podcast from the pit.
Okay. Right. Sorry. I don't know.
I was trying to figure that out too.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking Power of the Force for Star Wars for a second there, but I totally missed it at first. Yeah. Cool. Well, what all else are you boys hunting when you get to Joe Fest?
probably gonna do like I did last year and hunt down some Motu stuff.
Right.
And I want to try not to go crazy. Definitely be stopping at your all's booth. Stop hitting you all up will probably be my main thing. You all
wow.
and Marauders and
Yeah.
just to have fun. I mean, I want to meet people.
Oh yeah.
Just meet people that I've watched on the YouTube and everything, and get to know people.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, so many fantastic people there. Sorry, Casey. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was just thought to ask, are you guys doing a panel or anything?
Heck no.
What?
No,
Mega J will do a panel at 1 p.m. on the Sunday. He's got a panel locked in.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's doing something.
So he'll be working the booth for us, along with Wilhelm Toy and Hobby. So yeah, Mega J is going to duck out and do his panel. I don't know if he's planning to drag me along with it. Yeah.
No comment. Manta Ray, that was that little kind of zodiac thing, wasn't it? Or which one was it? There was. Yeah. No comment. We have all sorts of plans.
Yeah, I was thinking the mask manta. Sorry, my brain went to a different toy line entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the problem with collecting so many things.
Yeah, right, eh?
I got to narrow the focus, but I never do.
Yeah. I always promise my wife I'm going to. And I mean to.
Yeah.
I've actually started really like narrowing my focus on like O-rings. That's all I'm buying now is O-ring stuff.
Yeah.
And 4-inch figures like Marauders. I got some stuff I need to get off Marauders, and then Lone Wolf Toys will be there. And
right.
They do O-ring figures, like basically build your own, almost like the O-ring version of Marauders is the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Manta Ray came with a Sea Slug in '87. That's right. That's the one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry. And but I want to definitely hit them up, and they have a not John Wick in O-ring.
Yeah.
Not John Wick. Nice. We don't have any metrics yet. I've been getting a few hints here and there. People that send me emails saying that their kids are playing with them and all that stuff. So I don't know. I'd guess maybe 5% at the most. Mm-hmm. That's something we really want to change. We want toys in the hands of kids, not just for the sake of selling things so I can make money, but just like it's healthy for kids to go outside, get in a ditch, under a tree, something like that. Take some toys, get some of that vitamin D going, those birds singing in your ears,
Hey, Lawrence.
So we meet again.
Hey, Lawrence.
Hey, Lawrence.
Yeah, speaking of, we were talking about PowerCon earlier. I got to meet Lawrence at the last PowerCon.
Oh, sorry to hear that, man.
It was fun. He's just like he is.
Yeah.
And Mega J, I got to meet Mega J too. He was really cool.
Yeah, both really nice guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both guys in our corner all the time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That Kickstarter's taken a while, but man, that was a successful Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Marauder always delivers.
Yeah.
Right. It's just I think maybe they hadn't started their tooling yet. Maybe that's why it took them a little bit longer. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just they're
sculpting. They're sculpting. Like I don't know if they done, or maybe they did a little bit of sculpting. But with all the add-ons and everything, it's hard to, it's hard to get everything sculpted ahead of time, right?
Yeah.
This is an inside joke from last week's.
Yes. We want to make so much money we can buy a yacht with a big pool in it, and the pool's so big we can drive our boat around in the pool.
Retrograde color scheme.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then maybe have a hot tub in that boat as well, and then a little RC boat inside the hot tub.
There we go.
Yes. Kids need to get outside. They need to be healthy. Like nature is so rejuvenating, even if you're just mowing the flipping lawn or whatever, right?
Yep.
It's just so rejuvenating. It's the frequencies, the birds, the wind, the everything. It helps us on so many levels.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't wait till my granddaughter's old enough for toys. I'll take her shopping at least twice a month, get her some toys.
Yeah. Nice.
I just don't think kids play with enough toys anymore. Everything's either something handheld or.
Yeah.
Mine likes his electronics till we take it away from him. Then it's like, hey, toys. It's like, no, that toy's got to be first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Electronics are a means to do something. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right. Yeah. What is the biggest challenge getting? Oh, sorry. Photographers. Yeah. Well, Emerald Knight. Holy cow. Thank you, sir. That guy.
John. Thank you.
Blowing up the internet with his beautiful photos.
He's so talented. Yeah.
Biggest challenge to getting the line produced and to market. Oh boy. All of it is very, very challenging. There was never a dull moment. You know, it's hard finding the right people to work with, I guess, in some ways, you know, to get the right sculptor, to get the right project manager and all that stuff. Once you get that lined up, you're good to go. You know, our project manager and his design studio in Hong Kong, project managers in the UK, design studios in Hong Kong, and they'll find issues, something with our figure, something's up, and it looks like, oh shit, like we're ruined, right? And like 2 hours later, they'll send me a message. They're like, here, we figured it out and we made it better. And it's all like, I'm just like, holy cow, these guys are incredible. Like, it's just some incredibly talented people that we're working with. So it's amazing. Yeah. And Swordsman says the run-in with the CPSC. Yeah. We were trying to bring our stuff into the States to the fulfillment center, and the Consumer Product Safety Commission was like, well, you might have lead in it. And it's like, we're in one of the best factories in flipping China. They don't have lead in their pencils there. You know, like, give me a break. That would shut them down and I could sue them for whatever. Lovely United's Despero. Well, thanks, man. And yeah, thanks. And cheers out to Australia. You know, I've been watching these orders come in, and I am amazed at how cheap the shipping. Like, some guy will order from Philippines, Spain, Australia, whatever else, and some of them are just paying like $20 for shipping. I'm like, how is this possible? It's with that Ascendia.
Yeah. Ascendia is a really good company. Like, that's who our fulfillment center partners with for their international shipping. And I think we've sent just as much to Australia as we have to Canada, which is kind of weird. You know, kind of makes me scratch my head a little. Like, what didn't we do? What did we do wrong? Or what did we do right? Or is it what did we do right? Right?
Yeah, Canadians have been just a conundrum. We might as well just like close the market to Canada. You know, our fellow
same thing.
Yeah, our fellow Canucks are just like, you know, they're just not there.
Yeah.
Big box stores, I don't know. I don't like their attitudes. I don't like how they treat toy companies. You know, you have to rent the space, you have to refresh your line every 4 to 6 months, et cetera, you know. And then Largo was asking if we'll see a sketchbook. I don't know, maybe someday, you know, maybe 5-10 years from now, we'll see.
Yeah, Delta 17, the opening decade, you know. Something like that. Right.
So
it'd be pretty cool to see the progression. You know, this is what I was thinking of first, and you know, I think that'd be really cool.
See all the junk.
Well, just some of the original color schemes, right? Like, Preacher stands out a lot more than he did in the past, right? Yeah. Shepherd's had a change in color scheme. You know, the Okamis had a. Yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah, we still have this from the other night here. This is was the original 12. I have a couple of them hidden because they need to remain hidden. But, you know, as you can see, Okami was supposed to be red right from the start. You know, Despero, she was originally blue. She was going to be an Emercom girl, which is a Russian emergency response unit. And Jaguar, he was originally a good guy, you know, et cetera. Preacher's changed a lot. That's Shepherd in the desert. You know, Kestrel is from a different country and different division there. So some things have changed for sure. And that's there's even lineups where there's a lot of guys there that are now gone. So Well, I'll show you. Well, no, I'll leave that. There was one with Shadow Dragon with no mask, but we'll leave that a mystery.
So, will you be doing sketches at Joe Fest?
Nah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. I would need paper and a pencil, and that's pretty high tech stuff.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we're busy enough that we don't have time for that sort of silliness.
I'm sure you guys will be.
It's extra money though. I mean, it's one of those things that in a future year, once we've got maybe a big enough booth and I've got the sales system down to a T, you can sit there and draw and just be like, how much money do we make today, Ken? I'm like, enough for me to go buy that boxed RoboSkull over there. Can I go do that?
Yeah, right. That'd be all right.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't want to sell sketches. I wouldn't want to do that. That's a ripoff. But
artists do it all the time.
Yeah, right? I'm one of those slow artists. It's pretty hard for me to just fire something out, like usually I'll draw for about 10 minutes and I'll look at it and I'll be like, oh, this is garbage, right? Other people sometimes like it, but I
understand.
Yeah.
Worked with a guy that drew the real Ghostbusters and he did Looney Tunes and stuff and Roadrunner.
Nice. Wow.
And I asked him why he never went to set up at comic book conventions. He's like, I don't like people.
Yeah. Well, I would differ with him there. I really enjoy people,
right.
especially in the G.I. Joe community. Toy people. I mean, they just make sense to us. And the only people I don't like are the people that sticks up their butts that think that they just came down from heaven in all perfection and all that stuff. So
met a few of them.
Yeah, we all have. I think we've all been there at one point too. I used to be a real what have you, but thankfully I got humbled. Doing a Hind, yes sir. Do a Vulcan. Vulcan. What do you mean a Vulcan? There's a Vulcan Gatling gun. What's the Vulcan?
So what was this Hind going to be able to do?
Okay, so yeah, we're going to really try to over-engineer the Hind, right? So we want to make it worth the money. It's going to be crazy to tool. So we want it to be able to, it's going to be 2.5 feet long from the very tip of the rear to the very nose. And then you add on, a little bit of rotor blade, which won't be too much. I think it's an extra 4 to 6 inches sticking out. So what our first concern was we got to have it so that these people can store it away and nothing will break. If you try to take the Tomahawk apart, you can't get those rotor blades off. It's horrible, right? So we're going to make it so the rotor blades pop out nicely. The rear rotor pops out nice. The whole tail will come off. The wings will come off nicely. And then we're going to have the troop doors. If you can see them, there's only 2 little windows there. That represents the troop doors. There's 4 windows total. So the troop doors for the troop bay is actually really tiny. So even in 1/18 scale, you'd have a hard time getting your hands in there. So we're going to expand the size of that so you can get your meat mitts in there. And then for the cockpit, what I really want, we're going to have a ton of armament as well, different options. There'll be different paint schemes on it. And yeah, no thanks, no doubt. And then for the cockpit, for the gunner, the cockpit window opens up this way, right? And then for the pilot, the window and a door pops out to the side. And I was just thinking, it's always hard when you have to pre-bend the knees and then try to wiggle them around all of that stuff. So we're going to have these doors that do open. The doors and the windows will open, but we'll also have a feature where you can pop the nose off, slide the whole canopy out, put your figures in there nicely, slide the canopy back in, and just Lego the front back on to secure the canopy. So there'll be you can pose it with the window and the door open here. So that'll still be functional, but in order to get your figures in without being too frustrated, remove the whole canopy. So, and we're also aiming for, I can't guarantee, but we're aiming for retractable wheels. So I'm hoping for something like the Sky Striker where you pull something, but the wheels in the rear are very difficult. If you ever watch it on a video, how they go in, and the panel closes behind them. It's going to be difficult to get the wheels to go up and inwards at an angle, and then the panels come in behind them. So that one's going to be a conundrum. We might just have it like you're going to have to use your hands to actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the Tomahawk, from what I recall, had retractable wheels. So I don't think that expectation is going to be out there.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wanted to do something like the Sky Striker, but it might just be so over-engineered that it would be prone to failure. Sometimes you can over-engineer straight into failure, right? So
it sounds like it's going to be amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I want to tell people is don't, expect to wait long enough to have it perfected, because we are not going to rush the hind. That is not happening. I don't care how excited people are, how much they want it. We have to deliver it in such a way that it is very well done. It really works. It's not prone to breakage. It's the, appropriate price. It's the right paint jobs that we'll be putting out that people really want, etc. Red Dawn, yeah, no doubt, eh?
Yeah.
Excited for all this. I know we have a hard stop because you guys got stuff you got to do here in about 4 minutes. But I wanted to ask you guys.
We can go a bit longer. I don't see anyone. I'm waiting for the colors to send me documents. So as soon as those ping in, then I got to fly. But I haven't seen them come in yet.
I just didn't want to take up more of your time if you didn't have it.
No, that's all right. No, there is no rear door for a cargo, which is kind of a bummer. It would be cool.
That would be cool.
I think the MI8 hip has the rear door, as well as the MI4 and a couple of other ones, but not the MI24/35. But yeah, any questions, just fire away.
Yep.
So we got the comic book coming.
Yeah.
We've talked about Wave 2 a little bit. Behind. Any little other things you want to talk about?
Well, the Wave 1.5 figure will be at the show in prototype form. So it's a high quality print. We haven't gone to tooling with it yet. We could have started tooling about a month ago already, but I just want to take it slow because there's a few options. There's a few things we can dial just for the future, for future, like adding things to it or whatever else it is. It'll be very unique. I think people will really like it. It'll be a bit more expensive than a regular figure because it is unique. Spotting and sniping. Well, yeah, you've noticed that we don't have a sniper yet. We have a marksman. Preacher is a marksman. So he's Marine recon marksman. So we don't have a sniper. We don't have a spotter. So good notice there. Real person from your lives. Not yet. I mean, I am drawing some inspiration from people, that I've read about or whatever, but not like friends or whatever. I got my wife to sort of model for Death Sparrow, and I sent those photos over to the sculptor, but he sort of went, kind of did his own thing, which is cool. I'm not going to hold him to it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Rooster, I always say, is loosely based on the Alice in Chains song, but I think that was also a coincidence more than anything else, and it just became his anthem, right? You can ask Largo about that one. Yeah,
you guys did his show, right?
I went on to talk the Delta 17 playlist, and he attached a song to each character, and Rooster was Rooster from Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so, I like that he got some Megadeth and some suicidal tendencies in there too.
As soon as I saw the Megadeth, I sent you the list, and it's just like, hey Jim, Steve says this list is basically perfect. So
Yep. Absolutely.
Right. In fact, I think the only objection you would have had was the song I chose, the Breaking Benjamin song.
Oh well, no, I like modern stuff too. No, I got no problem there. I just don't know it very well,
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right. one of my favorite concerts was Suicidal Tendencies. So
Oh, I've never seen them live. I was going to go to one, but in Vancouver. And so what I did was I watched one of their recent shows, you know, Suicidal Tendencies Live 2022 or whatever it was. And the guy was singing so fast and out of, you know, off beat or whatever. He's just, you can't bring me down. You can't bring me down. You know, I was like, holy shit, dude, slow down. Right. So I was like, I'm going to skip it. Right.
when I seen them, it was on that tour. So it was a long time ago. And they sounded great.
Oh man. I wish I could see them one of these days. They're fantastic.
I gotta say, they never come to West Virginia for some reason.
Oh man, that ain't right. Hat patches. Yeah, we'll be able to get you the figure. We're gonna have, you know, about between 500 to 1,000 that we're setting aside for the store to stock at the store later. Same with the physical comic. The patches, I'm not gonna make those available. They're just, you know, every time we have to stock something at the fulfillment center, I gotta rent floor space. So unless I can talk to the guy at the fulfillment center and be like, hey, you know, can we just squeak this in on the top of a pallet or something like that? But then he's gonna want a barcode too, and then I gotta make barcodes, and I gotta add stickers. Oh, good grief! So yeah, music's good. Ken's good.
I try.
Nice.
Well,
Cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
I do have to get up early too. So
Oh no. Yeah,
so
that ain't right.
just want to thank you guys for coming on. This has been a highlight for us.
Yes.
And well, we're about 3 weeks away. We'll get to see you guys in person.
Yep.
And you'll probably have to shoo me away from your booth because I'll just be talking and taking up space.
Yeah, no, we'll always have time to catch up. So yeah, hopefully we can hang out and stuff like that. It's been a real pleasure to be here as well for us. We really appreciate this, man.
Like I said, this has been the one thing I've really looked forward to all week.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you. Yeah, well, same here, man. It's nice to hang out with like-minded people, you know, and real people. I anybody who doesn't have a big attitude and a good heart, I get along with them. I like regular people, just like, you know, because that's all that we are at the end of the day. We're just
he made an exception. He made an exception for me though, but you know, that's yeah. I mean, you know, we'll be happy to come on again sometime in the future. I know we wanted to schedule this a couple of months ago, but then we're like, we'll see where the schedule falls, and it kind of fell on this date. So it worked out. It worked out.
We're just gonna be patient. We know how busy you guys are.
Yeah.
The weekend
tonight.
Yeah, the weekend's been busy, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be up till probably 7 a.m. uploading that comic book, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'll try to get you the final edits on my end as well.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, just want to say thank you one last time.
Yep.
If everybody watching, if you could throw us a like, throw us a sub.
Go check these guys out.
Check these guys out. I'm sure you already do, but if you don't, check them out. If you guys are going to be at Joe Fest, just stop us, say hi. We love talking to people.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks again.
Well, thank you guys so much. Good night, everybody.
Good night.